Right, welcome back to the First Reviews podcast as we continue our coverage of the Slam Dance Film Festival. Today, we are joined by director Dustie Carter as he talks about his short film, Dumpster Archeology. Dusty, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to talk.
Tell us a little bit about your background as a filmmaker, as a director, your journey so far.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a probably uh, different background than most people. I grew up as a rice and cotton farmer in the Missouri Bootheel in Arkansas. So didn't really know that filmmaking was a journey that could happen, but I always made skate videos and some dumb videos with my friends. And then eventually, we'll skip some stuff, but eventually led to me fighting that bug to make things and led me to where I'm at now. It's in St. Louis where I direct, everything from commercials to narrative stuff to the documentary you checked out.
Awesome. So this short film, Dumpster Archeology, it follows a self-proclaimed dumpster archaeologist, Lew Blink, and as he wanders around everyone's trash bins, trying to find hidden treasures, that
Yeah.
things that he thinks are have importance to them, and everything really does. Can you tell us a little bit how you met Lew? And
Mhm.
how you first discovered that this story could make for a really fun documentary.
Yeah, I think well, first, where we're at now in St. Louis is it's a small town, so anybody interesting, really stands out. So buddy met him, knew I was looking for something to film. I just came off of a project, in search of something. And yeah, he gave me Lou's contact. I contacted him and we met and instantly knew that Lou had something. He had the charisma, he's a character, he's funny, he's quirky, and I knew that I need to get a camera on it.
The documentary manages to cover a wide variety of themes in just a few short minutes, only 14 minutes long. Very interesting themes covered. One major one would be privacy, something that you know dumpster diving is always looked down upon, wandering through someone's trash bins. But Lou sees it from a different perspective. Can you talk a little bit how you tried covering those themes of privacy through the lens of Lou?
Yeah, I mean, definitely letting him tell his story is part of it. I think it's obvious that he's in some gray area of what he's discovering, what he's unearthing, and as he says, it's privacy, but people threw it away. And so for him, I think a lot of it falls under intention, and so, I think a lot of what we're talking about in the film is, we have this privacy that we give up, but, how should we look at the world and what we're putting out there? So yeah, I think a lot of what we're talking about is the intention of Lou's work. We're talking about the privacy and what we're leaving behind.
Absolutely. Another theme is our wastefulness as a society, as a species. You look at Lou's apartment, everything in there is was thrown away at some point by someone. Can you talk about a little bit how you tried incorporating that, or again, using the Lou as a effort to discuss this theme?
I mean, yeah, definitely. Yeah, Lou, as he says, 98% of what's in his house is from the trash. And I think that's a big part of what we did. Like we didn't really have to try that hard to show wastefulness and the other things you can do to, like, maybe be a little bit less wasteful. Lou really covers it all, in from his interviews to just the things you see, and how he just his view of the world. So yeah, I think that's been, just really pointing the camera at Lou, talking with Lou, that he makes it easy to kind of to pull out those types of themes that especially when it comes to waste. He's obviously a very good at, like, finding things that are we would think is trash, and putting meaning behind it.
Absolutely. Yeah. The way you had a lot of really interesting shots that really helped engage with the film, and in some cases even pull us in. Um, can you talk a little bit about a few shots that I really enjoyed? One being the zoom in through the alleyways, and the journal popping out through the garbage bin. These are really fun um, little details that you didn't necessarily have to do because a lot of documentaries don't go in that direction, but they really helped engage. Can you talk a little bit about your thought process with incorporating these types of edits?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of that is again, you've probably stepped through a little bit more, but yeah, it's like he definitely his personality drove some of the visuals, I think. But then at the end of the day, we also just wanted this to stand out and not just be your typical documentary. We wanted to put a little bit more narrative thought behind it, and at the same time, it's like I think with a character like Blue, you can't just film it normally. You have to find some sort of way to keep it in his world, and I think that's what we ended up doing. I think it was very successful. Is that I don't think it feels like we're just trying to do something cool for cool sake, even though sometimes that's how it felt. But I think a lot of it has to do with capturing Lou's personality, capturing Lou's world, and then we also took inspiration from some of our favorite directors, and I have to put a lot of this on our DP Mike too. Like, feel like we were on the same wavelength. A lot of this on a lot of this project is like, hey, like let's do this thing here, let's do this thing there. And on top of that too is we kept our interview first, and then we had some ideas that we tried out on our early shoot days, but then as we saw this edit come together, we almost had a script to follow.
Okay.
And yeah, and so like we knew that for instance, there's a scene where he's getting pulled towards the dumpster. That was something when he's talking about the great magnet that pulls us. That's for us. Is like, how do we visualize that? How do we make that something that can still fit the story, but also keep you interested, keep you engaged? And that's part of the approach was we had some ideas up front that we shot before, at like we didn't have a lot of shoot days, but the shoot days we had, we did some of that stuff, and that was kind of going into it. And then as we had our so-called script to go off of, we yeah, we we tried some weird stuff.
That's awesome. So this played at the screened at the Slam Dance Film Festival. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience with the festival?
Oh yeah, Slam Dance. What an amazing festival. Incredible films, world-class films, awesome people, filmmakers. It felt like a filmmaker summer camp. Like, just everybody was super cool. You could go talk to them about their film. There were probably too many films to see. Like, I just overall, because we ended up seeing the full for the full thing, and we're finally home, and I think I slept like 12 hours after I got off the flight. It's just it was insane. I was barely getting to sleep, but no, it was great. It was a fun, exhilarating experience, and I would do it 1,000 times over. So
How many films did you manage to screen during the festival?
man, it's hard to keep count. I'd probably see like 4 to 5 a day.
Nice.
I think, and then in the early stages of it too, because our film's about the screen, and I think Slam Dance is very much about marketing yourself. That kind of DIY punk rock aspect of filmmaking, and so we were out trying to like get people into get butts in seats, and so some of that took away from our screening time. But once we had our first two or our only two screenings, we were able to like sit back and enjoy the rest of the films,
For
and
sure.
honestly, they're like just honored to be a part of that festival and around so many awesome people.
Now, for people who were not able to check out Dumpster Archaeology during the two screenings of Slam Dance, are there any upcoming festivals or a way for people to screen this film?
Yes, there's some stuff coming up. Off the top of my head, like Durango Film Festivals, one of the next in-person festivals. I think there's going to be a few more. I hope we're kind of in the process of either getting yeses or nos right now. Also there's the Slam Dance channel. I think that's open until the 28th, which I guess
Yeah.
is tomorrow. So if
Tomorrow's,
you
yeah.
yeah, so there's that. I think potentially festival scope, which is like an online situation for films that a lot of them were out of Slamdance. So yeah, there's going to be times to see the film in person or online. It just, I guess, probably have to follow the film and see because we're
Absolutely.
we're still trying to figure out what the next thing is. So yeah.
Awesome. Are you currently working on any other new projects that you're able to discuss?
Yeah, I've got a couple projects I'm working on. One is like potentially expanding dumpster archaeology and seeing if there's something, some other way to either make it a feature into something more episodic. And then yeah, I've got a episodic series that I've written that I want to start shooting in April. That's not documentary at all. It's definitely a narrative thing and based on a little bit of my background. And then I have a feature I've been writing for I feel like forever that's about my time as a rice farmer. So yeah, got a few projects hopefully that I can get made within this year or the next, and hopefully get them back into Slam Dance or into another awesome festival. So yeah.
Amazing. When you mentioned you were a rice farmer, immediately I thought I would love to hear that story. So I'm uh, definitely interested in seeing that film when it is eventually made.
Yeah, no, a lot of people don't know that Arkansas has it's a big exporter of rice, biggest in the US. So it's a weird job, but I don't know, I guess I did it. So
For sure.
worked
The
out.
larger format for dumpster archaeology, you thinking more in the direction of like a longer film, like an hour bit, or episodic, like you said?
I think there's something cool like about episodic. I think I'm probably gonna chase both of those ideas and just see what sticks. Because if as the film has, you have these terminologies that kind of keep coming up, and there's way more that I'd
For
love to
sure.
explore. Also, there's so many fun, interesting stories that I mean, we're barely scratching the surface in the film. It's more about Lou and less about the stories. But some of these stories are really unique. They're very interesting, like the people he's uncovered. And it'd be cool to let him talk about them more, but also get the people that it's affected on camera too. And yeah, so that just
That would be
requires,
cool.
yeah, and it's that's something that if we can get the budget for, I think that's kind of what would help us make that happen. We did dumpster archaeology, the short version, on almost nothing. Just me, the DP, and then whoever we could rope in on it. And then we did have one day of full crew for interview day,
Okay.
but overall it was definitely just me and the DP and one extra guy, and we just found places to shoot, times to shoot, amongst other projects. So yeah. So yeah, I'd love to continue dumpster archaeology and see what else is out there for sure.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's a market for it. There is such a market for, thrifting and discovering unique items like storage wars. It's all about finding items that basically people abandon. So there's definitely something there that I think a lot
Yeah.
of people are interested in.
No, yeah, I definitely think it's super relatable. I mean, we all throw stuff away, and we're all probably worried about now that Lou's out there, like, what the heck is this dude finding? I throw away, and then also too, I think, wastefulness is something that's a big deal. And it's something that I think all of us are, affected by or also do. Like I'm always embarrassed by how much, how wasteful I am. And, no matter how much I recycle, I just feel like I leave such a big footprint. So, um, yeah, I think Lou and his story can kind of, helps, kind of show that, one of his terms that isn't mentioned in the film is trash oblivion, it's something we're working towards. So, yeah. So
Interesting.
yeah, I think the film is very relatable and touches on some really meaningful topics while still being entertaining and funny. So
Wonderful. Awesome, Dusty. Thank you so much for joining me today. And we'll keep in touch, and hopefully people can check out dumpster archaeology at future festivals.
yeah, I hope so too. Thanks for having me. Check it
Thank you.
out.
Thank you.